This is QTV News. I am Mariatou Sidibe and thanks for joining us. First, the headlines. President Barrow is seen off by cheering crowds as he departs on his nationwide tour. As Vice President Dr Isatou Touray continues her tour of disaster-hit areas, we hear what happened when she went to a village in the Central River region. At the TRRC, we heard from more victims of ex-President Jammeh's infamous witch hunt. For more on these and other stories, stay tuned. And now the news in detail. President Barrow on Monday left for his annual constitutionally mandated Meet the People tour. QTV's Aliou Cisse is traveling with the presidential delegation and he now reports.
Residents and non-residents alike of Banjul gathered at the State House gate to bid farewell to President Barrow as he set off for his annual constitutionally mandated nationwide tour. They escorted him to the Banjul terminal, where he was seen off by the Vice President before inspecting a guard of honor. The Constitution provides for the President to embark on such tours at least twice a year. President Barrow is accompanied by senior government officials. On the other side of the river, thousands, including local authority officials and religious leaders, gathered at Barrow terminal to give President Barrow a befitting welcome to their region. To voice critics who say President Barrow's popularity is diminishing, his supporters say the crowd shows that he is still greatly loved by the people. On board the Kunta Kinte ferry, the Gambian leader said he is hopeful of a successful tour.
We're looking forward to going around the country, but our expectations are very, very high. Definitely. Thank you.
He will use the tour to discuss and assess the condition of the people and gather first-hand information on the impact of government policies on their lives. Over the course of the tour, President Barrow is expected to chair over 44 public meetings and spot visits to development projects relating to agriculture, education and healthcare throughout the country. He is expected to use the opportunity to emphasize his call for unity, social cohesion and harmony for peace, security and socio-economic and political progress of the country. On the other hand, locals see the tour as a rare opportunity to put their concerns directly to the President. On Monday, he held meetings in Fasnjaga Choi, Chila and Kuntaya before a night stop in Karawan. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
A victim of the windstorm disaster during the past rainy season has commended the government for what he calls its urgent intervention. Cherno Jallo was speaking at a gathering in Sarefuta village in the Central River region as part of Vice President Dr Isatou Touray's follow-up visit to inspect government's relief efforts. Momodu Gajaga has more.
A house that collapsed in August. This mobile phone footage shows the aftermath of a windstorm surge that devastated this village and affected the Jallo family in particular. Thanks to government's relief support, the house has been rebuilt after building materials were supplied through the National Disaster Management Agency. We thank the government for their support. My children were injured as a result of the incident, but they have all recovered and have gone to the farm. As well as commending government for their intervention, Imam Jallo has called for more support because his house is not fully refurbished, especially the interior. Speaking on behalf of the women, Ajaja Bumbalo says the community lacks many basic essentials. We have a health center in the village, but we do not have doctors. As women in the rural area, we depend on farming as a source of living. We need government to support us with milling machines. For now, we pound our coos, millet and maize with our hands. The Vice President, Dr Isatou Touray, says she has noted the community's challenges and that action will be taken to address some of their needs. However, she added that government cannot address all the needs because so many people have been affected by the windstorm. So many people spoke earlier about the challenges of this community. The challenges are many, including water shortage and lack of doctors for the health center. The president is on his way for a Meet the People tour. I am sure you can put some of these problems to him. His entourage will include the ministers of health, agriculture, and others. Government will do what it can to address your needs. Momudu Gajaga, QTV News.
3 witnesses in Jambur village on Monday testified on the ongoing witch hunting exercise that took place in 2009. The Imam of Jambur and 2 other residents explained to the commissioners of their ordeal and what their family members went through with the witch doctors. Babukar C reports.
The TRRC for the first time is conducting public hearings outside the usual Dunes Hotel. At Jambur, where today's session was held, witnesses narrate the inhuman treatment they and their family members have encountered in the hands of the witch hunters and the Green Boys. The Imam of Jambur, Omar Bojang, was the first to testify and began by telling the commission that the village was attacked by the Green Boys of Yaya Jammeh after the 2001 elections, and he was seriously beaten because he supports the opposition. He then went on to give a more detailed account of the dreadful experience he and his whole family went through. Amongst other things, he related how, at his bathroom, he said the witch doctors removed something which they allege was a juju that has caused the village youths. At that point, the Imam said he was arrested with his visitors and other family members along with 60 other people from the village and then taken to Kololi.
While I was sitting down there with my visitors, I then saw my own father, who was the Imam, being brought in. My father's younger brother too was brought. His second brother too was brought. All of us are from the same family.
Upon arrival at Kololi, Imam Bojang said they were made to drink a herbal concoction, and he and others were also undressed and bathed.
When I started drinking it, the little grass that was in it, I said I was going to remove them to throw them away. They said I should not throw them away, I should chew them and swallow. And I did it exactly like that. And those people that were bathing me with that water, even myself, who was the youngest amongst the group that came, I was also older than them.
Imam Bojang said he felt disorientated and only regained consciousness the following day when he was put in a vehicle and taken back to Jambur. Next to appear before the commissioners was Dembo Mamo Bojang, a native of Jambur who, like the Imam, suffered the same treatment just because they were not supporting Jammeh's regime. Bojang recalled being arrested after a fight with APRC supporters after the 2001 presidential election. As a result, he said he was kept in a police cell for 8 days. On the witch hunting exercise, Dembo said the witch doctors were going from compound to compound, arresting people and taking them to Kololi, and he too was forced to drink the concoction.
So they used to fill up this cup and give it to you, and they ask you to drink it.
Even if you have drunk enough, if you tell them that I've drunk enough, they'll tell you you have to drink the whole cup and finish it.
He said upon drinking the concoction, he was feeling dizzy and continuous passing urine while other members of the group were unconscious. Mamo Bojang said because of the concoction, some victims later died. The final witness was Fatou Fati, whose late mother Nyima Kote was also among those arrested in Jambur and taken to Baba Job's residence in Kololi. Fatou Fati recalled her mom was arrested and taken to Kololi after she and a friend went to visit the scene of drumming and dancing by the witch doctors. She said her mother never regained consciousness after she returned home the following day.
Well, when she returned, I saw a wound on her mouth and one of her and her tooth was broken.
Fatou Fati said her mother eventually died at the hospital less than a year from the day she was released by the witch doctors. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
The Village Development Committee of Lamine, in collaboration with the management and staff of Lamine Health Center, on Saturday commemorated the 5th anniversary of their revived health center. The event also served as an open day to showcase services available at the health center. Aisha Jan reports.
Lamine Health Center is a community-based non-profit clinic established in 1994 and initially operated with limited services, facilities and infrastructure. In November 2014, a Dutch foundation revived the facility with a $10 million building structure and high-quality equipment. Currently, the clinic employs approximately 50 staff. Commemorating the 5th anniversary of the revived health center, the deputy chair of the Village Development Community, Jammeh Bojang, says the health center has hit a milestone of achievements as he shares its history and developments.
This was a garbage dump not suitable for this hospital. A garbage dump between the graveyard and the hospital was not something ideal for any community. Thank God, with your assistance, we were able to clear this, and today the place is nice and we are breathing very fresh, very good fresh air from the site.
The Director General of Lamine Health Center, Anna de Konin, says the center has seen an enormous increase in patient visits, rising from 11,000 patients in 2015 to 25,000 in 2018. She says Lamine Health Center and its team are committed to providing quality healthcare services. She gives a briefing of the services available at the health center.
Currently, there are 21 admissions beds, including a delivery ward, emergency room, pediatric ward, laboratory services, dressing ward, and mortuary services, respectively. In addition, there is an ambulance services at the field to patients in need for a referral and a mortuary in respect to the death.
She adds that the hospital operates 24 hours a day and conducts minor surgical procedures, deliveries, as well as antenatal care program. The chairman of Children of Lamine Foundation, Gerd Brunes, says the foundation is the main sponsor of the institution and also helps needy children in the community. The foundation has established a primary school and is currently sponsoring 5 medical students at the University of the Gambia.
All what you do must have an end. And sometimes it's been 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, but someday the Gambian people must take it over. 5 students now, 5 students on the Gambian University who study for a doctor. We pay everything and they sign a contract that when they are graduated they can work here. And that's the moment that the Dutch doctors can go away.
The Alcalo of Lamine, Alaji Ibrahim Bojang, expressed much appreciation to the foundation for their philanthropic work. He says the services at the hospital are beneficial for the community of Lamine and the surrounding communities too. The health center has recently opened a high-quality dental facility in efforts to further strengthen its services to the community and the Gambia at large. For QTV News, I am Aisha Jan.
And not to keep any viewers in suspense any longer, the football match between the Gambia and DR Congo ended all square, with Gambia scoring a last-minute equalizer to make it 2-2. We will go with a short commercial break. When we return, we hear how national and international partners are using the arts to put across messages about mental health. And we hear also how football was used to bring peace and unity to a community. Do stay tuned.
Looking for internet for your free videos, pictures, chats, work and school projects? Think Free Night Browsing. QCell's free night browsing lets you browse the internet for free. Oh yeah. Get a data SIM, recharge a minimum of $500 and enjoy free browsing after 24 hours from midnight to 6 a.m. every night for 30 days. QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back. A public health campaign using musical performance to disseminate information on maternal mental state in pregnancy and ways in which women can be supported was organized by Goldsmiths University in collaboration with the National Center for Arts and Culture, the Ministry of Health, and other international bodies. Mamjara Sise was there and she reports.
Goldsmiths University, its partners in the project, are close to completing a feasibility study on research projects in the Gambia on perinatal mental health, looking into stress, anxiety, and depression in pregnancy, and how group singing session can influence in elevating these symptoms. Lawrence Stewart, psychology professor of Goldsmiths University in UK, explains why they choose to campaign for maternal mental state in pregnancy.
Promoting messages around the importance of men supporting their wives during pregnancy, because we know that a woman's psychological and emotional well-being during pregnancy is really important to consider, not only for the woman herself, but also for the development of the growing fetus inside her.
She added that a lack of support from men is a culture that will change not only in Africa, but across the whole world to reduce stress and anxiety during pregnancy.
Stress and anxiety and depression during pregnancy, this can increase the chances that the developing infant has difficulties even later on in that child's life, to do with behavioural difficulties and psychological difficulties. It's not always the case. Some children are fine even if their mother has been exposed to stress and anxiety, but it can increase the chance that there will be difficulties. So if we're going to support a woman in the perinatal period, it's a useful thing to intervene during pregnancy rather than waiting till after they've delivered the baby.
In the Gambia, when a woman is in labor, most of the time she is assisted by her mother-in-law instead of her husband. Buba Dabo, Program Manager, Health Communication Unit at the Ministry of Health, explains.
Men are sitting behind at home, and once the woman is in labor, and in fact during labor, the men will not turn up. They would rather give the in-laws or an old woman to accompany the pregnant woman to the labor ward. And if there is a problem, for instance, there is bleeding or the woman need blood, this old woman cannot be running up and down to get a potential donor for the woman in labor.
Fatou Cisse, a resident of Gunjur, urged men to support their wives. In the Gambia, men do not know the value of a pregnant woman. They need to support pregnant women. They should involve themselves in all activities done by the woman, including taking care of the children, because the role should be played by both parents so that the young ones will learn from them. Women go through a lot of mood changes, and the process can be frustrating. A loyal husband should be supportive and willing to take up responsibilities that will help reduce stress on the woman. The campaign was graced by the famous king of Kora, Jaliba Kuyate, who dedicated a special song to the woman. For QTV News, I am Mamjara.
The team from the community of Sikunda were crowned champions after a dramatic win over Karantaba in the recently concluded Jara West Football Committee's Peace Tournament at Soma Mini Stadium. Lamine Dabo reports.
A dramatic second half ensued after a barren first half. It took only 4 minutes after the second half resumption for Ibrahima Kamara to give Karantaba the lead. This sparked an immediate response from Sikunda to push to get back on equal terms, and reward came when Lamine leveled in the 59th minute. However, the most remarkable moment of the match came in the 78th minute when Lamine scored the winner through a spot kick. In a post-match interview, the PRO of Jara West District Football Committee, Omar Nyang, says the objective for organizing the football tournament is to use the game to bring back to the community the spirit of unity which had gradually been lost over the years.
If you look at the Jara West football, we have been experiencing a lot of setbacks, and as the committee came up with this idea of organizing a tournament in order to bring all the young people of this particular district to come down here to showcase their talents and of course to show out what they can do. And as a committee, we are very much delighted. We have experienced a lot of successes, and we have also experienced a lot of improvement regarding football and regarding some of the talent we have in this district.
Demboyafa, the chairman of Jara West District Football Committee, expressed his delight for the tremendous support given to them by the Regional Football Federation and the general public. He went on to explain the mechanisms put in place as a committee to ensure a successful tournament.
Mechanism to be eradicated in Jara West football is to make sure we respect the rules and regulations that govern our football, and make sure we respect each other as brothers and sisters as we are in sports, because we know sports can bring us together, but we don't think sports to separate us as brothers. So whatever we are to do, we need to respect each other and respect the rules and regulations that govern the football in our district or Gambia at large.
The Sekunda boys were awarded a giant trophy and a cash prize of $25,000 as winners, while the Karantaba boys went home with a trophy and a cash prize of $20,000 as runners-up. The 17-team Peace Football Tournament final was attended by hundreds of football lovers across LRR, with several dignitaries including the chairman of Mansa Congo Area Council, the regional sports chairman, and the regional football president. For QTV News, Lamine Fandin Dabo.
Before we end this bulletin of the news, let's take a quick look at our main stories. President Barrow is seen off by cheering crowds as he departs on his nationwide tour. As Vice President Dr Isatou Touray continues her tour of disaster-hit areas, we hear what happened when she went to a village in the Central River region. At the TRRC, we heard from more victims of ex-President Jammeh's infamous witch hunt. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news. Thank you for watching.